Greetings, legendary readers. Welcome to Larry's Legendary Library, where I explore science fiction, fantasy, and other bits and bobs. Today, for Magazine Monday, I will be looking at Star Science Fiction, January 1958, edited by Frederik Pohl with cover art by Richard Powers. You've heard of one-hit wonders, musical artists that have one big hit and then kind of fade into obscurity and never to be heard from again, never quite reach those heights. Well, I guess in a way, this magazine, Star Science Fiction, is a one-issue wonder. It was originally planned as a quarterly magazine, but due to distribution problems and poor sales, Ballantine abandoned the magazine format and went back to publishing science fiction anthologies. They kept the name Star Science Fiction, but the magazine itself was quietly dropped. So today I'm going to look at 3 stories from this lone issue. I'll review each one, I'll give it an L rating, and then give its taxonomy. First up is The Apprentice Wobbler by Poul Anderson. Our protagonist is sent to infiltrate a competing company. The company has developed this revolutionary machine that they call a wobbler. It's a device that allows trained users to move objects using just tiny amounts of energy that is normally required. This breakthrough has the potential to fundamentally reshape nearly every industry and every aspect of society: transportation, shipping, warfare, communications, energy production, you name it. The rival company has tried and failed to duplicate the wobbler. They can't figure out how it works. So our protagonist goes undercover as a student, posing as an apprentice in order to learn how to operate it from the inside. But things aren't quite what they seem. Not only is our protagonist not what his hosts think he is, but the trainer himself isn't what he appears to be either. When our protagonist finally uncovers the secret behind the wobbler, he has a choice to make. Will he steal it? Will he sabotage it? Will he embrace what it represents? Will he be killed because of his position as being a spy in their company? You'll have to read it to find out. I really enjoyed this story. It has a strong sense of mystery. I was fully invested in figuring out what was actually going on, the wobbler, how it worked. The final reveal didn't quite hit the sweet spot for me, but early on and the middle portions of the story were strong enough for me that I pushed it up to an L4 anyway. Otherwise, I might have only given it an L3 legit. So I'm going to give it an L4 loaded. It is well worth reading. Taxonomy, primary, it's puzzle. The mystery of the machine and how it works drives the story. The second story, S, is for Zhabotinsky by Asimov. Zhabotinsky is a nuclear physicist who feels professionally unfulfilled. His wife encourages him, much to his annoyance, to go visit a numerologist for guidance. Zhabotinsky is deeply skeptical. He believes in science. He does not believe in numerology. But a numerologist turns out to be not quite what he seems. His advice is deceptively simple. Change one letter of his name. Zhabotinsky becomes Sabotinsky with just changing the Z for a letter S. That tiny change sets off a chain reaction, drawing the attention of powerful institutions and raising Cold War era suspicions, very much in line with the paranoia of 1950s science fiction. I enjoyed this story quite a bit. It's entertaining, it's clever with the dynamic between the two main characters is engaging. The mystery surrounding the numerologist had me hooked. This one earns an L4 loaded. It is definitely worth reading. Taxonomy, primarily puzzle science fiction. The mystery surrounding the numerologist and the consequences of his advice. I also classify it secondarily as satire. Just the widely disproportionate reactions to such a minor name change verge on the absurd and were certainly entertaining. The third story, Judas Dancing by Brian W. Aldiss. This to me was the strangest story of the three. Our main character is being executed for the second time for murdering someone he has already killed once before. In this world and time period, time travel allows authorities to go back in time and to save murder victims, although the victims retain memories of their deaths. They can also retrieve criminals after the execution, after they've been executed for the crime. For most people, that punishment, that memory of their execution is enough to prevent recidivism. But not in this case. Our protagonist is deeply unstable. The story is told entirely from his perspective, which makes it challenging, it's disorienting, and at times it's unsettling. This is an interesting story. It's not an easy story, not one that you would pick up for just light entertainment. There are heavy themes here with religion, insanity, guilt, punishment, and identity. I'm giving this one another L4 loaded. It is well worth reading, but it certainly demands an effort. For the taxonomy classification, primary is puzzle, trying to piece together what's actually happening. And then secondary is philosophy, the religious symbolism, the treatment of mental illness, and just all that's going on would certainly reward a close rereading. Well, that wraps up this episode of Magazine Monday. 3 stories, 3 L4s. For a one-issue wonder, Star Science Fiction. It turned out to be surprisingly strong, and honestly, it makes me a little disappointed that the magazine didn't continue. After reading short fiction consistently over the last 7 or 8 months for my Magazine Monday coming out every week, I'm starting to realize that I think I prefer vintage science fiction over the more modern stories. There are some modern stories that I enjoy, but I tend to lean more toward the vintage in my appreciation meter. Let me know in the comments, have you read both vintage and modern science fiction? And if so, which do you prefer? I'd love to hear what your thoughts on it. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, stay legendary. Legendary.